A lot of people are bemoaning, lamenting, decrying the fact that people just aren't reading books anymore. A lot of people are being impacted by the terribleness of artificial intelligence. A lot of people are offloading their reading capacities to a stupid machine. Other people are caught in the infinite scroll of social media. Whatever the case, it seems like people are losing the ability to read, which is really bad news. I hear this from my philosophy professor friends all the time. I hear it from some of my elementary school teacher friends. It's really scary. It's really awful. So don't let this happen to you. You should come read with me. I'm hosting a book club on my Substack called Parker's Ponderings. My book club is going to be awesome. We went through a lot of really good books in 2025. Miracles, Dune, Boethius's Consolation of Philosophy, Descartes' A Discourse on the Method. Really awesome. Really good philosophy books and philosophical fiction books. And so I'm going to keep up the trend this year. A lot of people in my audience ask me, hey, how do I start learning philosophy? Well, you can come join my book club. We're going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like 14 books in 2026. It's going to be wild, but we're alternating between straight up philosophy books and philosophical fiction, again, mostly science fiction or fantasy. And I'm really, really excited about it. So you can find the link to my book club 2026 reading list in the description of this or in the pinned comment. Or you can keep listening to this video as I walk through them really, really quickly. But before I do, I want to thank the sponsor for this video, which is me. Don't click off. It's me. I'm sponsoring this video. That is, I am sponsoring it through Parker Zines on Etsy. If you guys don't know, I have been putting out zines, personal magazines, for a few months, since August of 2025. The first one is Proverb Peddling. This is philosophy for wisdom lovers. This is like my commonplace book, but in zine form. So I will send you a bunch of wise sayings that I've found. I will send you some of my own apothegms or aphorisms. And I'm also going to send you like practical wisdom. So this is a really, really fun one. You can check that out. I will link it in the YouTube store, so you can buy it there. Or if you don't like that, you're going to go through Etsy. I'll leave an Etsy link as well. The second zine that is sponsoring this video is Sages, Mages, and Wisdom Machines. This is my philosophical science fiction and fantasy zine. I have 3 issues, but I don't have the third one with me. It's over there. I have 3 issues so far. This is like my baby. This is my project. I love this. Sages, Mages, and Wisdom Machines. It's philosophical science fiction short stories and some theological fantasy stories. And then I include afterwards essays, behind the curtain essays, in order to help you further explore the big ideas that I put in the short stories. I also include philosophical poems. They're not too pretentious. They're all sing-songy, kind of fun poems. And then I also include essays in the philosophy of science fiction and fantasy. So I have essays comparing Dune with Lord of the Rings and the nature of power within the 2 stories. Stuff like that. So if you guys are into that, that's cool. Check those out here on my YouTube store or check them out on my Etsy shop. All right, enough commodifying myself. Let's jump in with some of the books that we're going to read this year. This is a tentative list, but I'm pretty sure I'm set on these. So let me know in the comments if you're stoked about any of these. First up is going to be Soliloquies. This is by St. Augustine. I have a pretty popular video on the soliloquies here on my ParkNotes YouTube channel. This is really cool. St. Augustine coined this term soliloquy to describe this process of asking yourself tough philosophical questions in order to get clear on what you believe and why you believe it, in order to gain self-knowledge. This is going to be a really fun one, really short. It's just 2 basically dialogues with himself. But I'm going to write companion essays to help us explore these ideas more fully over on Parker's Ponderings. So make sure you subscribe to my Substack. Follow that link in the description there. And you're going to get 2 companion essays to help you think through the ideas in Soliloquies. Next up, we're going to read The End of Eternity by Isaac Asimov. And we're going to be focusing in on the philosophy of time, one of my favorite subfields in all of philosophy. This is like one of Isaac Asimov's best books. I really love this book. It's just a good story. I don't want to talk about it too much because it'll ruin it, because it is kind of a surprise Anyways, I can't say anymore. But you're going to check that out on Parker's Ponderings. I haven't said this already, but I will include companion essays for each section that we break the book into. And then I'll also be doing a live stream over on Substack, at least one per book at the end of the book, but maybe if it's a longer book, I'll do one in the middle as well. The live streams are free for my paid subscribers, and then the companion essays are for paid subscribers. So if you want to access the companion essays to get the most out of these books, then upgrade to a paid subscription over on my Substack. After the end of eternity, we're going to be looking at the Pythagorean source book and library. I love Pythagoras. He's awesome. I love this dude. Stephen West of Philosophize This calls Pythagoras Jesus with a protractor because he is kind of like this cult figure. But he's fantastic. I genuinely love Pythagoras, and Pythagorean philosophy is so interesting. You would not have Plato without Pythagoras. Some people say that Plato was the most prominent Pythagorean. So we're going to look at that. We're going to explore it. And I don't know too many people who talk about Pythagoreanism. It's always like Stoicism and the Daily Stoics. So we're going to do a daily Pythagoreanism. It's going to be fun. After that, we're going to do The Place of the Lion by Charles Williams. This is just a Platonic or Neoplatonic feast of a book. This is a novel, so it's going to be just deep philosophical fiction. I am about halfway through this, but I figured I have to read this with you guys because the philosophy is so prominent. It's amazing. It's really impacting my own novel, Block World, which you can read on my other Substack, Sages, Mages, and Wisdom Machines. I'll leave a link. I'll link everything. After that, we're going to do The Mind of the Maker by Dorothy Sayers. Dorothy Sayers is fantastic. She's like the female Inkling, if that makes sense for those who have ears. But this book's really awesome. I used this in my master's thesis about the God-world relation. I wrote about the authorial analogy. That is, that God relates to the world like an author relates to their book. And Dorothy Sayers also writes about that. So this is going to be philosophical theology, I'll call it. And it's really, really fantastic. She is a fiction author, but also kind of a theologian, philosophical theologian in her own right. And this is like her best book on that stuff. So that's going to be really fun. We're also going to look at Vulcan's Hammer by Philip K. Dick. We read Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep this past year, and you guys loved it, or my audience did. And so I'm going to do some more Philip K. Dick. He's a philosopher, just disguising himself as a science fiction author. I was going to do Ubik, which is like, I don't know, cosmic horror-y science fiction. I'll save you guys that one until maybe next year, because I think Vulcan's Hammer is going to be a little bit more relevant as it deals with artificial intelligence and outmoding and offloading our decisions to a robot, to an artificial intelligence. So we're going to talk a little bit about the philosophy of technology, definitely a lot about the philosophy of artificial intelligence over on my Substack and the companion essays. So that's going to be really fun. Next up, we're either going to do Plato's Republic or Plato's Timaeus and Critias. I never know how to say that. I am leaning towards the Timaeus because it's about his cosmogony. It's about his, view of the cosmos and its origin and all that stuff. I feel like a lot of people have done Plato's Republic. Jared Henderson just did this. I would love to do it. Maybe I'll give it another year because a lot of my audience has overlap with Jared. So maybe they've just read Plato's Republic. If not, man, I would really love to do the Republic. But I think we're probably going to do the Timaeus. So after that, we're going to look at Paralandra. This is C.S. Lewis's second book in the Ransom trilogy or the Space trilogy. This is another of his science fiction books, though it's more science fantasy or planetary romance, something like that maybe. It's really good. It's a fantastic book. It's like a retelling of Paradise Lost, but science fiction-y. Really, really good. We already read Out of the Silent Planet, so I figured we're going to finish that trilogy this year. Next up, we have Thomas Nagel's The View from Nowhere. This book is going to be our most challenging read. Thomas Nagel is one of the most prominent contemporary analytic philosophers. And this book's fantastic. It's all about the necessity of the subjective perspective, how you can't really escape that. There's this debate between two views of the world, the scientific view and the phenomenal view, the Lebenswelt, what's the other word for it? The manifest image, which is the subjective perspective. And there's the teetering back and forth where like the subjectivists come through and say, we can't know anything objectively. They make objective statements about it. Then the objectivists, the modernists come through and they're like, no, we don't even have a subjective perspective, all that. Anyways, Thomas Nagel takes shots at both, but this is a correction to the overcorrection of modernity. And it's really good. It's fantastic. There's a lot of really cool stuff about modern philosophy that I think we're going to learn. I don't think it's too hard. It's going to be kind of hard, but we can do it. And again, I'll be providing companion essays for us. After that, we're going to be doing That Hideous Strength, finishing up C.S. Lewis's Ransom trilogy, the space trilogy. This is a dystopian novel. So each one of his novels in the series is going to be different. The first one was a classic. It's all mythopoetic. It's all poetic, whatever. It's all going to be, mythology type stuff. It's going to be really cool. But the first one was kind of a, travel to Mars book. The second one was about origins and more theological. And then the third one is eschatological. It's about, I can't say too much. It's really cool. There's going to be philosophy of science in here as well, which is really, really fun. We're going to have some wizards. It's a great book. It's hard not to talk about these, but I don't want to spoil them. After that, we're going to do Blaise Pascal's Pensées. The Pensées is an unfinished work by Pascal. He's trying to write a book of Christian philosophy or apologetics, and he passed away before he had it completed or had his notes in order, and so they published it posthumously after he died and just kind of guessed at, what he would have wanted. But it ended up becoming a book of sententiae, just wise sayings, and it's one of the best books ever written. We're gonna find Blaise Pascal's Wager. Pascal's Wager is in here, but there's a lot of really, really cool stuff about governments, about philosophy in general, about philosophical anthropology. He calls man the thinking reed. It's awesome. So this book has been really impactful for me, and I'm excited to share that with you. Then we're going to finish up with 2 books, which is actually 4 books, and that is Gene Wolfe's The Book of the New Sun. Philosophical, science fiction, science fantasy. Is it high fantasy? I don't even know what these books are. They're wild. But there's a lot of really good aphorisms in there. There's a lot of really good sententiae. There's a lot of good philosophical themes. I don't know if I fully understand it, which I'm excited to force myself to read it again. I really like it. And of course, I'm going to put it in contact with Dune because I put everything in contact with Dune, and then I put Dune in contact with Plato's Republic. So we'll see. This is going to be the hardest probably to get through because this is a lot of reading, and it's really weird. But I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna get it done. So if you guys want to join me on one or half or all of those books, then make sure to subscribe to my Substack. There's a link in the description. You don't have to try and read all these books with us. These are just the books that we're going to read. So if you want to read 1 or 2 or 3, just look at the schedule and jump on. Right now, I've only got it mapped out through February maybe, but I will update that shortly. This is the order that we're going to go in, and then I will break them down into sections so you know how many chapters to read each week, and you'll be expecting my companion essay on that section that we read for each week. So it's going to be really, really fun. I hope that you guys will join us. Even if you don't want to upgrade to a paid subscription, I hope that you will still read along with us and join us for the live streams. That's going to be really, really fun. And if you are a free subscriber, you can go back and watch those for free. I may upload those to Parker's Pensées. I don't know. It's confusing. We got a lot of projects going. But don't feel like you have to read all these books with us. If you want to read just 1 or 2, please do that. And then again, thanks to the sponsor, Sages, Mages, and Wisdom Machines. Ooh, I found the 3rd issue. There we go. Parker Zines, I should say. Thank you for sponsoring this video, Parker Zines. Check those out. It's been awesome. It's been a great year for the zines. I think we're over 640 sales, which is incredible. I didn't think that many people would want to read my stuff like that, but I appreciate it. All right, that's going to do it for this video. I'll catch you guys next time.